Well, good morning and welcome then to the second round of the Race Department World Virtual World Endurance Championship, round two, the 8 hours of Bahrain. Welcome one and all, I'm Dan Mart, and joining me today is Ron Squire.
Hello everyone, welcome to Bahrain. This is about to be a fantastic race. 8 hours ahead of us. Oh my god, are we gonna have hell raging fury here today? So let's just go through the race grid, and I just want to say thanks to LSD Racing for giving us a driver and car tracker, which we'll be using for the first time in this event today. So let's see who is lining up where, shall we?
Yes, I think we should. The Scuderia GT... Why, she is getting mad. Alright then, does your live timing working, Ron?
I haven't got it up yet, I'll be back, I'll be doing it in a sec.
Okay, so we've already got the broadcast off to a great start. Also, thank you to Davey Lorries, who has made the fantastic Spotter's Guide for this event, and it's going to become very, very useful, seeing as I hopelessly failed at clicking cards at the last race. And just to comment on the track, I do like the track. It is a nice little track. It's I don't like it, but when they use it for Formula One, I don't like it. It's just rather processional. But I think endurance racing is quite a good little test. Especially the World Endurance Championship round last year was also very interesting. But that's enough on the track. The cars are currently going round, and I can't actually see what's happening.
Well, I can tell you that I got my live timing up. I can read through the GT1 category, and in leading at the moment is Miguel Burgess, who's just behind her, and Francisson, who's in the VWEC pace car. Peter Varga in the OXXO Racing in second place in class. The rare endurance team of Marcel Vischer. Then we've got the madcap of Jimmy Hughes in fourth. Fifth position is Adrian Sabilla in sixth for in fifth for rare endurance racing team. And then we got David Grunwald in the Free Jam Racing in sixth. Seventh is Jan Wim Inzing in the SRVN GT1. The sped and split of either Cavella or Ranhaniel is in eighth place. I'll read through the first half of the GT2 category. In RVN in first place in class is David Belando Gonzalez. Then we've got Sergei Roscosa and Savel in the Project Resistance Racing. Christian Michael is in the CDR Motorsports ahead of the Scuderia GT Italia of Daniel Pizio. Then we've got the Frederick Schurstein in TXL Racing. Well, looks like we're about to near the end of the pace lap, I believe.
Which is unfortunate, as I don't think any of us have got a working live stream.
Yeah, but now we can
Yeah,
tell you
I know,
that the race is live, and we only got one blue flag already for Marcel Fischer. We only got one for Sergei Edson, but though the man leading at the moment is Vidal Burgess in the Project Racing first place in class in the GT1 category. Peter Barker follows him closely behind him in second place, so we've got Marcel Fischer behind him. Jimmy Hughes.
He's moved up to
closer.
third, Marcel Vischner, ahead of Jimmy Hughes. I believe Hughes didn't start third, but he seems to start back. Also, FM Motorsport have still in the lead in GT2. David Gonzalez in that lead. Also, Madcap GT4 with Davidovich is in first in GT4.
Yes, so let's just have a look at the GT4 category for the moment. The Madcap GT4 of Miroslav Delkovic is in the leading class. Then we got Vincent Fernandez for the PR Team España. Then we got the RFN Motorsport in the GT4 category, Miguel Constant. Then we got Yari Vernon in the Roaring Pipes Vidiax, the SRBN in the GT4 class. Gil Dehan is in fifth place. The Scuderia GT Italia of Luca Bonotti in sixth. Seventh place is Road Bandits of Angelo Peter. And last place is our lads, the Team Mar Motorsport with Drew Martins at the wheel.
Well, we're lapping faster than our last lap was pretty much fastest in the category, so come on, Rui.
And I believe we got another man joining us here in the commentary box. Please welcome to Mr. David O'Reilly. Hello, David.
Yeah, hi. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for having me along. I'll just get my screen settings up and functioning, and I can join in the conversation. Pleasure to be on board.
Great to have you here, David.
No worries.
Right, we already got another position swap between Nicky Debris and Daniel Pizio, and Pizio has actually gone down past by Henry Leak in the ME Racing. So now this Daniel Pizio is last place in the GT2 category. We've already got another swap for Yari Brinian and Miguel Coston for 3rd and 4th place. Vincent Fernandez is now leading in the GT4 category, just past the Davrovic. Sorry about
Davrovic.
Yeah, Davrovic.
And also, my apologies. I did say that Matt Cape Racing of Jimmy Hughes did drop down, and it's my apologies. He started 4th and still in 4th, so he hasn't dropped anywhere. So I'm rather unfairly slating Jimmy. So my apologies, my friend.
Yeah, but still, come on, Jimmy. Okay, so let's have a look at the standings after the first lap. In the GT1 category, Melgo Burkus is still leading for Project Systems Racing. In second place, we've got Peter Varga in the OXXO Racing. Marcel Vischer in the Rare Endurance team is in 3rd, with Jimmy Hughes in 4th. 5th place is Adrian Sabella in the Rare Endurance team. Fijan Racing's David Gromvalds is 6th. 7th is Jan Wim Insing in the SRVN. Then we've got this Red and Split, who is last in the GT1 category in 8th place. Then we've got the in 9th place overall, the 1st place in class in the GT2 category is David Balado Gonzalez in the FRN Motorsport. That's right. Then we got the Project Resistance Racing of Sergio Ansel, and I think we've just had another overtake between Jan Wim Insing and Sabella, and Sabella has been overtaken by the Split for 7th place. So the Rare Endurance team car of Adrian Sabella is really going down by the minute.
Yeah, it definitely is not doing quite as well as what we had expected, and Mar Motorsport isn't last, we're 7th in class.
Woohoo! Well
I don't
done,
know why you're
Martin.
excited, it's my team.
I've got a
Well
comment.
done.
I've got a comment on that insane qualifying lap pace by Miguel Burgess. He was 1.5 seconds ahead of P2 in quality.
That is very good.
Yeah, but there's going to be a little bit of a pain for Varga at the moment. He's currently 4 seconds, and I repeat, 4 seconds behind Burgess. And Burgess is really pulling away from the Hungarian, so please, come on, Peter! You are a FSR driver, you should know who to go faster than this. Right then, enough about that, let's just carry on with this. We've got, let's have a look at the GT2 category. We've got Gonzalez still leading for FRN Motorsport, then we've got the Project Racing of F1L in 2nd place. CDR Motorsports Christian Mackel is in 3rd. 4th place is TXL Racing's Frederick Schulstein. Then we've got Davy Van der Ven in the ADR in 5th place. Rare Endurance team's Richard Blocker is in 6th place in the class. LSD Racing's Nicky Debris is in 7th. 8th place is Scuderia GT Italia's Daniel Pizio, who's actually just moved out the bit. So good luck on him. Then we've got the ME Racing of Henrik Leek in 9th place. And in 10th place is the Tiger Racing of Mr. Tibu Toika.
Yeah, based on lap times, it looks to me like the car number 209 TXL Racing, which is driven by Frederick Schornstein. I think we'll see him moving up the rankings because he's lapping quicker than all the cars in front of him by almost a second. So it looks to me like he's focused more on race pace than quali pace.
And we just had a little bit of a swap between Vischer and Varga, but Varga managed to still keep his position at the moment. And Jimmy Hughes has actually just gone past both Vischer and Varga. And Varga and Vischer still moving down the order.
They're both off the track. They've spun at the final turn.
Oh no! Oh dear.
That's not good.
And Gonzalez and Esteval have both passed Varga and Vischer. Both Gonzalez and Esteval are now both 7th and 8th overall. Christian Michael has now moved up into 10th overall, still 3rd place in class. ahead of Marcel Vischer in the rare endurance team, who is now 11th overall, 8th in class, last in class, I believe. So bad luck for both Barker and Vischer, but though that means Jimmy Hughes is now moved up into 2nd place overall and 2nd place in class. So come on, Jimmy, try and take down Burgess. But I don't know if they may have time, because he's only got he's only 7.5 seconds behind Burgess.
Yeah, it looked like the two GT1 cars had a bit of an off at the same spot. I think it was the exit to turn 1, which can be quite tricky in a GT1. And that's put them well down. They're at the back now of GT1. And that little thing that seemed to happen a lot in Sepang is happening. We've now got two GT2 cars that infiltrated the ranks of the GT1.
And I believe we got a new leader in the GT4 category in the form of Vincent Fernandez. He's passed Davoncevic in the Madcap GT4.
Sorry, I've just been asked to remind it's Mad Kate, my friend, not Madcap.
Sorry, Madcap.
We've been living in blissful ignorance.
I do apologise. So Gonzalez still leading in the GT2 category, while Burgess still leads in the GT1 category. Let's just have a look at if there's any tweets anyone so far. Now, if you are watching this and you have an account on Twitter and you want to message us, remember our private stream tweet is #VWEC. If you want to tweet to Dan Ma, what's your private stream at Dan, or have you got one at the moment?
It is at DanFilm007, so at DANILM007.
David, do you have a Twitter stream at the moment?
I don't, I'm afraid.
Okay, and if you want to tweet me, it's simply at RonSquire95. I repeat, RonSquire95. Okay, we just received from the broadcaster that we're going to do something new. So what is it? Oh yes, so that means we just got this. We got this new feature, which is Team Radio. All we have to do is just wait for. Oh yeah, we're just going to go for Team Radio. Yeah, sorry about it. I'm babbling. Dan Ma, would you like to take over for a sec?
Yeah. Like we say, we have got Team Radio.
Which is basically a new feature that enables us to listen to what other people are saying in the team.
So guys, so a little bit of pride swelling in the chest here, because my teammate David Gronvals is in.
Alright, Jimmy, gap to the car behind is growing, gap to the car behind is growing. Both cars in P2,
Okay, we just received word that both cars are in P2, I think.
That was the
yeah,
Mad Kate rating.
Yeah, both the Madcape drivers in both the GT1 and GT4 category are both in 2nd place in class respectively. That is both Jimmy Hughes in 2nd place in the GT1 category and Mislav Javojevic in the GT4 category in 2nd place, 20th overall. So thank you very much, Mr. Xavier de Carvalho.
So Miguel Burgess is now sitting on about a 10-second gap.
And we've lost Mr. Dan Marmon, so I can just need to check out on his team. So that just leaves you and me in the box, David. So let's just have a look on the main stream page, if we will. Just a sec.
So Miguel in Project Resistance Racing is lapping in the 157s consistently. He's got a really hot pace here. If he can do that and manage his tyres, he's doing an incredibly good job.
Okay, we're just having a look on the chat here at Race Department. Marco B. Jill says, Team Radio is the first new feature, do you like it? And the first reply was from Mr. Bram Hengeveld, and it says, nice. Good on you, lad. Right, let's just have a look on any tweets. No new tweets at the moment, only just from Race Department and different kind of adverts at the moment. But though, if you do have any tweets, please make sure to give us your posts. Just go to this private stream, which is the hashtag VWEC, to get you to the private tweet stream here at Race Department. Remember, you can just tweet to Dan by going to danmar007 or at Ron Squire 95. We got another reply from Justin Swan, just replying to the new Team Radios feature, and he says, "Nice feature, really, really nice feature. Well, we hope this will do well. I'm struggling with words now, really struggling."
Guys, just to let you know, our race leader has just lapped the first of the GT4s that he'll come across, which is in pretty impressive, pretty hot pace considering he's on lap 9.
Yeah, he is. He just lapped Yari Vinari in the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, and he's only just about half a minute away from lapping Team Mar of Rui Martins, and I think he's already got 2 blue flags now, Rui Martins. So that's a confirmation that he might be lapped soon. Wait a minute. He's going from 2 to 3 blue flags, and then he's going back to 2. So let's just have a look. The car we got currently on screen, if I have a look, is the RFN Endurance car of RFN Endurance. Oh, there's RFN Motorsports of Mr. Gonzalez, I think. Is that Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, David Gonzalez, according to my screen.
Ah, good. I got it right. Right, let's just carry on.
Just in terms of strategy, I think we can probably expect the GT1s to try to make it to about the 1 hour mark on fuel, unless they're particularly punishing on their tyres, which will perhaps cause them to stop earlier. But fuel range, we should see 29 or 30 laps out of the GT1, and a similar lap count from GT2 actually, despite the little bit smaller fuel tank. They run a 90 litre tank. The GT1s have got 100 litres.
David, sorry to interrupt, but we just saw the GT Scuderia Italia of who's at the wheel, Mr. Daniel Pizzio in the GT2 class, just going off on the grass at turn 2. I think he just lost a couple of positions or so. And I think we got back in the box. Please welcome back Mr. Dan Marr to the box.
Thank you very much. I've just been busy trying to fix my game, but
Right. Okay, so we got Jan Wim Insing is now 3rd place in class. 3rd place in the GT1 category and 3rd place overall. So Jan Wim Insing pretty much on his good pace that he had from Road America back in the LMS back in June this year. So Jan Wim Insing really getting on now. And he's only about 2.2 seconds behind Jimmy Hughes, who's only about 10.9 seconds behind Miguel Burgess, which is really flying for him in the Project Resistance racing car, to be honest.
He's just under attack from David Gronvals, actually, in the Fig Jam racing car.
Oh dear. and he's only about couple of laps or so away from lapping Rui Martins, which we don't want, to be honest. We want Rui to actually...
No, but I was talking to them and we were saying that they're one of the guys who managed to have a crash and looks to be I think it was Pipes Maniacs managed to go into the wall and they've lost a couple of laps, and we're 2 laps ahead of them at the moment. Where I've just told them to be careful, which should pay off for us. But otherwise, we're
Okay.
doing well.
Right, we just got some messages on the race department board from Justin's One. How to hear the team radio feature? Well, it's a bit difficult to explain, so I'll just hand over to the expert. It's on you. Dan, you have the floor.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm completely confuzzled now. Wait, what we talk about the team radio? They just they find a team. I think like they do in the FOM when they send all their master streams out, where they just like pick an audio channel, listen in, and if they find something that seems interesting to listen to, just broadcast it.
And it's a pretty neat little feature.
It is. It's also very useful because if anyone decides to go multi-function on us, God forbid, at least we'll be able to know about it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just
And,
been riding on board with David Gonzalez, and I've got to say he's driving very well. He's got the car right on the limit, and he's pulled himself a comfortable little gap to Project Resistance Racing in P2 in class. But he's really driving very well.
Okay, we just got a message from the race department board from Mr. Marcel Beachill saying the media team gets notified when a message is to be sent, then we embed the team radio in the broadcast. So that's how we do it, and we just listen to it via the whisper feature here on TeamSpeak. We got a tweet from the Team Xbox League for the VWEC from. It says Mr. Frederick Schonstein is driving nicely after failing to get a clean lap in qualifying. Is the missing engineer Mr. Matt's force in bed though? well, we really don't know, but we really hope that Matt can get on and then just hope to guide Frederick better. Thanks very much for that to Xbox League. Okay, so we're only, how many minutes are we in now into the race?
We are about 20 minutes in now, and just to note, the Rare Endurance team, the GT2 team, are Richard Blocker inside that car. He's currently still in the pit lane, and the only person behind him at the moment is the Bahrain Maniac's car, so I think they've got some form of problem that made me disconnect.
Yeah, no, so live troubleshooting and things going on, and we have confirmed. Oh, and we have another lap car, though not a GT4 car, but a GT2 car of the Rare Endurance team of Mr. Richard Blocker. He's now been lapped. He's 25th overall, 10th in class, and Rui Martins is still in 7th, but 24th overall. So come on, Rui.
Guys, I'm in the pit lane here, and Richard Blocker has actually pulled into the pits. There seems to be a bit of work going on around his car. He's been stationary for at least 25 seconds.
Okay, so that might be the...
Can I just say that?
You said he'd been lapped.
Yeah, so the leader is still the Project Resistance Racing car of Miguel Burgers. Hughes is still in second in the Mad Cape car. Third overall is the Big Ram Racing of David Gonzalez. Or Gonzalez, my apologies. SRVN is fourth, champion Sig. Fifth is Spielt, which is Real and whatever, I can't pronounce it. Hang on, is there two Rare Endurance team cars in GT1?
Yeah, there is. Adrian Sabella and Marcel Vischer in 6th and 7th. Let's have a look let's have a look at the full standings for all classes. The Project Resistance Racing of Miguel Burgess flying away, probably to Vettel. In in the first place. We've got Jimmy Hughes in second place for Mad Cape. Then we've got David Grunwald in third. Sorry about that. SRBN's Jan Wim Insing in fourth place. The endurance team of Adrian Spiller is in fifth. Sprint and Split is in sixth. Seventh is Marcel Fischer in seventh. Eighth is Peter Varga in the OXXO Racing. That is last in the GT1 category. Beginning of GT2, and we've got David Balado Gonzalez in the RFN in the in the first place. Then we've got the CDR Motorsports of Christian Michael in second place. TXL's Racing of Frederick Schonskin, TXL FYI, the Xbox League. Then we got Project Racing of Sergei Ruskosa and Spinell. Then we got Davy van der Vin in the ADR, 5th place. 6th place is Mr. TB Toika in the Tiger Racing. Scuderia GT Italia Daniel Pizzio is in 7th. The LSD Racing of Nicky DeFree is in 8th. ME Racing's Henry Leake is in 9th, while and I believe Robin Tolman's got into the Rare Endurance team for the GT2 category. He has.
I think he has, yes.
Okay, so Robert Toll is now in the Rare Endurance team for GT2. Is currently in 10th place, but last overall. So we got let's have a look at the GT4 category. The PR team Spaniard of Vincent Fernandez is in first place. Second place is the Mad Cape Racing GT4 category of Mirslav Javajevic. The SRVN in third place is Gildahan. Then we've got Angelo Peter in the Scuderia GT Italia in fifth. Sorry, that's Road Bandits. Yeah, GT Italia of Luca Bonatti is in fifth. Sixth place is Mr. Rui Martins in the Team Mars Motorsport. Yay! FRN of Motorsport of Mr. Miguel Castadon in seventh. Eighth place is Gary Finari. That is the last of the runners at the moment.
Slight glimmer of hope for the GT1 teams that are chasing Miguel in Project Resistance Racing. His pace has dropped off by about a second and a half now. He's in the mid 159s, so perhaps his setup is a little bit tyre hungry. The gap's stabilised at about 14 seconds.
I'm off to have some lunch, so Dan and David, you have the floor.
Oh dear. Well, I was looking at a couple of GT1 cars at the moment. It looks like the 116 car, the Big Jam Racing car, which has consoles in that. And is it better? I think Robin Toll's got in the M20 Team GT Supercar now and managed to back out. He's last overall, but he's going to push and should be up there sooner or later.
Yeah, it's been a tight old battle between second and fourth in GT1 category. The guys are having a real, it's like a sprint race, the intensity of the racing there at the moment.
Yeah. Is between Big Jam and SVRN. So that's well, so I'm winning those cars at the moment. And on that last lap, the SRVN car was about half a second faster over. Big Jam Racing Machine has got back ahead, so he's back third. How do you see this battle playing out though in the long run though, David?
Well, I've got a bit of inside information on the Big Jam team, I guess, because I'm in the team. We set the car up with a lot of focus on straight line top speed. As they battle their way through sector 2, it's it's nice to have a bit more wing for the ultimate lap time, but you just can't pass in Sector 2. So what we decided to do is to make the car very strong in the areas where there's potential for overtaking, or likewise potential for defending against overtaking. So we're running very low wing. We're getting about 280 kilometres an hour at the end of the main straight. And so in the points where there's a potential pass to be done, the Fig Jam car's pretty fast. So there could be a degree of frustration creeping in, because Jim Van Helsing may have a car that in ultimate lap time is quicker, but he's got to find a way past. And having said that, he just has done. He's found his way past David Granville's at the end of Sector 2.
Well, let's hope that stays as a nice still for the race. That'll be a lucky about to see going on to be a very long one indeed. But of course, the Bahrain International Circuit, a Grand Prix circuit, I believe we're using the Grand Prix, but without the extra big loop that they added in a couple of years ago for the 2010 Grand Prix, and boy was that boring. But of course, I think this is a very modern track. Some people love it, some people hate it. So I think a lot of people also gave the very funny nickname Bahrain. But like I say, in endurance racing, it's a very good track. It's some of these people really are treating it like a sprint, and we said this last time out, or I believe we said this last time out. So you can't treat it like a sprint. You've got to treat it like a full-on endurance race. And even more so now, because this is the 8 hour, it's no longer a 6 hour race, it's an 8 hour race. You've got even longer to make up places or lose time, do whatever. And of course, this race should be a 10 hour race, which is the longest one we'll have in the calendar, I would believe. But otherwise, you've still got to treat this like a long battle. You know, you can lose it in the first half an hour, but you can't win it. Do you agree with me, David?
Yeah, 100%. I think you know, you've just got to keep the car on the black bit, and then you're going to be in the hunt. And just overstepping the mark ever so slightly and having an off, and suddenly you've got all sorts of work to do, and potentially even as a GT1 class driver, 1 or 2 mistakes, and you've got the GT2s past you. And they're quick enough around here to make catching them again quite a challenge.
Exactly. And very good point.
The little bit of beer for you. The surface of the track is made from aggregate, which was actually shipped to Bahrain from a quarry in Shropshire in England. They use the same stuff for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and liked it so much. They imported the road surface all the way from Shropshire to Bahrain.
Wow, I never actually knew that. I knew that it took that. Though it's quite an often actually, because it's quite often it's like sometimes in England the session gets stopped because of rain, or more recently because it's snow. It's very rare to find a track you have to stop racing because it's covered completely. It's not covered completely in sand. And luckily we don't have these problems we have on our factor, but what the original track developers did very nicely, CTTP I believe made the track, they managed to make sort of offline very, very dirty, grimy and greasy. So if you even went offline, you'd lose a lot of grip on your tyres just by running offline, and of course you'd be kicking up sand all out the back of your car, which would not be good, because in real life all this would be damaging the underfloor of your car. Luckily we don't have this in our factor, but something to look forward to. And also something to look forward to, of course, Assetto Corsa has been released, early release recently. Has anyone tried that? If you have, don't forget to Twitter us at DanFilm007. Our one isn't here, but see sure when he comes back he'll give out Twitter again. Mine is at DanFilm007. Don't forget to hashtag RD VWEC, or just VWEC, or RD, or whatever. Just don't hashtag something really rude. And I'd love to hear your opinions on the new sort of level of games that are coming out. Of course, this is, I think, the first really big championship to come onto R-Factor 2. Of course, the last R-Factor championship, I believe, was the Virtual World Endurance Championship, or back then the Le Mans series. And a lot of people haven't embraced RFX 2 yet, and I don't understand why. I enjoy RFX 2. I think it's a fantastic game. What do you think about it, David?
Well, it's cutting edge, isn't it? I mean, it's still in the final stages of development, but there's some fancy changing track evolution. I was just having a look at the weather outside then, and it's only 25 degrees, which is quite cool in the middle of the desert. Now, that has an impact, and as the race evolves, we'll see the weather get warmer. There's a high chance of rain, according to the local weather forecasters. The track will continue to rubber in, so realistically, from 1 hour to another, the conditions, the track, the ambient temperature, all vary. And what a wonderful, and me, but from what I've seen, R Factor 2 is just awesome. But it's cutting edge, you know, and I suppose it's got to trickle down into the main market from that position.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. And you were saying about the fact that the weather's important. You've also got to remember that the weather will also actually affect the racing line as well. So it does have a dry line. Like some people, like if you've ever tried the RFE plugin on R Factor 1, the original. The RFE plugin is fantastic, but I think this is just better because it's got native support and the developers are supporting it. And I mean, it is really, really, really effective, and it all just adds to enjoyment of the drivers. And we've got more to come. I mean, ISI certainly are going to bring more features out. I'm sure they might give the graphics a bit of a boost, as well as the sound is one of the things they want to give a boost to as well. And we're going to have a load more comments.
I think the graphics took a big step forward with the latest build 342. So that's been well received, but I guess it takes time for the word to get out. You were talking about the drying line. It is so important, this drying line, that it was a funny old thing. We're trying to optimise our setup. Obviously, once you're out there racing in the dry weather setup, you can't change any of the main car settings like camber or springs or shock absorbers or anything. But in car, you can play with brake balance. You can have the rear wing adjusted when you stop, and you can specify wet tyres, and you can specify the tyre pressures. So we were doing, the team was doing a wet testing session just to trying to optimise those adjustments off our basic dry setup. And what would happen was the AI would go out and lap for about 6 laps, and you'd have this lovely drying line, and you'd be running at 210, 211. But for some reason, after 6 or 7 laps, the AI would pit. And of course, the drying line would disappear. The track was wet everywhere, and suddenly you're doing 222s. So it makes a massive difference once the drying line appears.
Exactly. And that's a good point. I really am looking forward to the development of this game further. And and of course one important thing is actually the marshals. The marshals move, and they're able to wave the flags, which is actually, some people don't value it as much as I do. I mean, I like the fact that they move. You know, it's just little details that inform me.
Yeah, every one of those little features just adds incrementally to the immersion factor when you're driving the game. So if you have a bit of a spin and you see a guy waving a flag, it just adds to that immersion.
Yeah. Or if you're going to be lapped, annoyance. But we all get used to it.
So we're at about lap 20 for the leaders now, which means that, sorry, in terms of race laps, it's lap 18, but if you count the formation laps and the gridding up, it's lap 20. So tyre wear is going to start to play a significant factor now, and certain drivers have a knack for driving quickly on worn tyres, and certain teams do their setup with worn tyres, so very much in mind. So we might start to see a few little errors creeping now as the tyre wear becomes a factor.
Yeah, it's because again, tyre wear is one of the things you can lose a hell of a lot of time on without realising. I've seen it we've seen it all year through Formula One and other forms of racing. But I think tyre wear it's an important point, but sprint
Now,
races. It's an
our leader in GT2 has suddenly got a bit of competition breathing down his neck. His lead is now 1.5 seconds. That's David Gonzalez from RFN Motorsport is leading Christian Michel from CDR Motorsport, but their gap is only 1.5 seconds. And then it's only 3 seconds back to Frederick Schornstein from TXL Racing. If you recall, he was my hot tip from earlier because his lap times were out of kilter with his track position, and sure enough, he's moved up to a podium position now in GT2.
Yep, definitely hot tip now. And I've always, whenever I've planned strategies, I've always thought the race is more important, so I don't. That's why I prefer to have a setup that will work in the race, but not necessarily qualifying, because I don't really qualify that well, and it looks to be that there is a definite battle, and it's getting very, very close for comfort. And of course, they're going to have to lap the T4 car, the yellow GT4 car just ahead of them in a minute, which will just add or could make or break the race for them. Of course, traffic's a very relevant feature to endurance racing. Sure as hell both of the GT2 cars go through, but slightly delayed is the yellow car of Project Resistance.
Yeah, they're only separated by a second. What's happened to Jim Hughes? Oh, was he pitted? Mad Cape Racing Jim Hughes is pitted at lap 20. That's an early stop.
And there's an early stop.
Yeah, sure enough, he's sitting there in the pits. Yeah, that's an early stop. That's you're looking there with a stop at lap 20 of running 9 to 10 pit stops on that basis.
That is not good, because I would believe you try and aim for a pit stop every hour, maybe every hour and a half if you can last it. But you know, if you're having to pit every 40 minutes or so, you are going to lose a lot of time, which you don't want, let's be honest. And now this GT2 battle is getting ever not just closer, but they're coming into a lot of traffic now. And the number 312 car has just gone wide to let them through.
Yeah, you got to say it's a stunning graphic on the TXL car, the one that's in camera at the moment. Big majority of that team is made up from race department Xbox League guys. And one of them turned his hand to skinning the car, doing the graphic design. That was Callum McClure, and you got to hand it to him. He's done a stunning graphic on that car.
It is, and just a quick note from Xavier is saying Jimmy Hughes has had damage, and because the car ahead of him moved across on him and swiped his nose, so that's why he had to come to the pit lane.
That's a bit of bad luck, but I guess you know, in an 8-hour race, he only needs a couple of other people to have their little share of bad luck. And in a strange way, it might put him out. It might put him out of sync. He's now on fresh rubber. His competitors are on worn rubber, and it's going to put him in a little bit different pit phase. And you never know, he might be lucky and even save a stop when the wet weather comes, because he's now on a different strategy. The GT1 cars can run for just about an hour, and that's it. You're really pushing it to get an hour out of these cars, and of course, in the first stint, they've got to deal with the 2-lap procedure of gridding up and the pace car lap. So they're going to struggle to make a full hour. They run 100 litres of fuel. Tyre wear isn't such a drama here. In Sepang, the tyre wear was a really critical factor, and a lot of teams, including us, didn't fill the tank because there was no point, because you just could not run the tyres for full tank of fuel. But here, certainly we're managing to get a full tank of fuel, which is 29 or 30 laps. if you really push it. And it's about the same fuel range with the GT2s. They run a 90-litre tank that have a slightly better fuel consumption, and it ends up having them in the pits at about the same lap.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see where they all pan out. And this looks to be a GT1 car in the pit lane. Actually, that's the Project Resistance Racing GT1 car in pit lane, and in comes a... Is this another GT1 car? It is another GT1 car. Is that the RFN in?
Adrian Sabila.
Okay, so RFN in again, are in for the first time even, and Road Bandits, Motorsport, Roaring Pipe Maniacs, and RFN in GT4 have all come in with Rare Endurance Team. All now it's just Road Bandits currently in the pit lane for the GT4 people, which you can see them on screen about now.
And our early leader, Miguel Burge, in Project Resistance Racing, he's pitted as well at lap 20. So he is running a short stint strategy, which is interesting. Instead of 7 or 8 stops, he's going to be looking at 10 or 11 stops, and it is going to be very interesting because clearly he's got pace on good rubber, but he's elected to stop quite early.
He has, and this will be very important to note that he can push. He's going to have to push up because he's going to be a bit further back. But he's also, if you're saying he's going to have to make more stops, and he's going to have to pull out a really big gap before everyone else comes in order to maintain his sort of advantage in the strategy. And surely that many more. Oh, that sky is it me or looking very what's the word? I don't know the word. Sky doesn't look very good, does it? In certain places at the track.
Yeah, looking a little bit overcast, if that's the word they use in the desert.
I think the words they'd use in the desert are quite strange weather, but I suppose if you're in a country that's very warm, then that climate isn't normal. I mean, us people who may or may not live in the UK or mainland Europe, the weather is something we understand to be really annoying.
Yeah, temperature still seems to be 25 degrees, and the data from the local weather forecasters is that rain is to be expected, but more about the midpoint of the race. So it might just be a little bit of cloud cover.
So that still is also going to turn a bit of the temperature down the track, and
I'm just noticing here that Vicente Fernandez, who was our early leader from in GT4, has now pitted and is falling down the order. So it looks like he too is running a short stint strategy. So we've got two guys pushing very hard on pace and looking at regular stops. And there's I'm looking at GT1. We've had Miguel Burge, the early leader, has pitted. David from Fig Jam has pitted, and Adrian from Rare Endurance has pitted, all in GT1.
okay, and so pretty much all of the field is pitted, haven't they?
Well, no, far from it. Only about half the GT1s and only one of the GT2s so far. Most of the GT4s have pitted. I'm a bit surprised that so many GT1s have pitted, because in testing we were getting 30 laps out of the tyres no problem. All I can think is that maybe these lower temperatures, because most of the testing was done at 29 degrees, 25 degrees, the tyres are just that little bit stiffer, not quite as compliant.
I'm going to have to stop you there. Sorry David, I'm going to have to stop you there because we've got team radio.
Miroslav, 2 laps to pit. Miroslav, 2 laps to pit. Guys, rain is coming. Rain is coming.
That was the Magcave Racing team radio, and so they're worried. I don't know. So you're saying that the rain's not expected for a couple of hours, yet they're panicking about it already as if it's going to come in the next 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, I guess weather forecasting is an imperfect thing, and when it starts to happen within the R Factor 2 environment, it happens quite quickly. You start to see a bit of mist, and next thing you know, it's raining quite heavily. So I guess we can only watch the sky and wait and see what happens.
Indeed, and we are going to seriously, we'll be on for an even better race then if we do get the rain. Of course, some parts of the circuit really quite dark and cloudy, but other parts it looks to be perfectly fine.
Now it looks like Miguel Berge, in the early leader in Project Resistance Racing, is working his way back up the leaderboard after his pit stop. He's already back up in third, and it looks like he's running his total gap to first place is 13 seconds. Jan Wimensing is currently in the lead and running quite nice lap times, but I get the feeling that when Miguel's tyres come in, he's going to be back in the 157s, and he'll be fighting for the lead again quite quickly. And when Jan pits, that's effectively going to put Miguel one pit stop ahead.
Yeah, and you don't want to go behind in the pit stops, definitely not, because like fighting with someone from the future, you're just going to lose more time than you could.
I'm just going to wander down the pit lane for a minute and see what's happening.
Yep. And let's go over the leaders then. The SRVN car, Janwin Ensig, is in the lead of the race overall. Their endurance team with Marcel Vishner and Project Resistance Racing are in with Miguel Bergrez is second and third respectively. In GT2 TXL Racing, Frederick Schornstein is in the lead. RFN Motorsport and Project Resistance Racing of David Delva Gonzalez and Sergey SNFL are in second and third in GT2 respectively. Madcap GT4 is in the lead with Miroslav Davidovic. SRVN is Gilles de Hans is in second, third is GT Italia. And in the pit lane currently is the CDR Motorsport car. So Mikel in the pit lane.
And Daniel Pizzo from Scuderia GT Italia is just exiting the pits after his first stop at lap 24.
And we're just being informed, Scuderia GT Italia have just done a drive-through penalty. They've just served it. Anyway, we seem to be moving on at the moment. And at the moment there's a blue flag for Scuderia GT Italia, the Madcap GT4, 2 blue flags for PR, 3 for PR Team.es, 1 for RFN Motorsport, which, not good. So, continuing on, so at this part of the race, David, what do you feel could happen, apart from anything?
Well, I think it gets very interesting around the pit stops. I'm noticing here that Frederick Schornstein in the 209 car is leading GT2, and he is yet to pit. The next car back, however, is only, well, there's a couple of cars within 3 or 4 seconds. So those guys are running long. The 3 lead cars in GT2 have yet to pit. They're still doing reasonably representative lap times, but their tyres have got to be going off around about now, lap 25. You really are nursing the rubber to get yourself back in good shape. So where they filter back in versus the early stoppers, for example, Timo Toika from Tiger Racing. Pizzo is showing a pit stop, and maybe that was his drive-through. And Davey Laurie's from ISD Racing, they've all pitted. So I think when the lead 3 cars from GT2 pit, we may well see that there's a changing of the guard, and the 3 next cars might jump in front of them.
Yeah, and as long as they can get the jump, they can try and stay ahead, and as long as they can try and stay ahead, they'll get the better position, and of course that's what they want. But there is still about almost 7 hours and 5 minutes of racing to go, so the race has only just begun.
I'm just looking at Vicente Fernandez working his way up the order. He's just past a couple of other GT4 cars. If you recall, he pitted quite early on what we might term a bit of a sprinter strategy. But he's now in P2 again in GT4 and is only 8.8 seconds behind Gilles Dehaene, who's leading GT4. Gilles, of course, is yet to pit, so I think once the pit stop cycle has gone through, we're going to see Vicente out in front with a good 25 seconds in hand. So his strategy is not looking too bad at the moment.
That's definitely not looking too bad. That's quite a big gap there, 25 seconds. It's although he's still, as long as he's still on the lead lap, he is in with a chance. That's the most important thing he's got to just think about, is try and stay on the lead lap. As long as he can do that, he could be in the chance to fight for the win. As difficult as it may sound, you've got to be in it to win it.
So Marcel Vischer is taking the fight to Miguel Berge. Marcel is only 5.2 seconds in arrears, and both of them have pitted, so that's a straight fight for position. So it looks like Marcel's going to keep Miguel honest, even though he's running a longer strategy.
Yeah, and that sounds very good. As long, again, just don't. I think my only concern is last time out, at some points during the race, it got a bit too. Some of the racing got a bit too big for itself. There was quite a bit of contact there. Thankfully, most of it was resolved, but we don't want to see contact in this race because it just ruins racing. And you know, I want to see a battle for position, not somebody going into me. If I wanted to see that, I'd be watching the British touring cars right now. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks to have been pretty clean so far. It's possibly helped a little by the layout of the track. There's a bit more grip, number one, here than in Sepang. Sepang was a lot slidier, and despite the fact they've both been designed by Herman Tilke, and both have some quite similar corners on them, they drive very differently. This car offers a lot more grip, and top speeds are higher, so I think you've got a couple of good clean overtaking spots available, whereas in Malaysia that was a bit of a battle. So I think that's the first thing. I think the track is quite helpful to clean racing, endurance racing. And the second thing is I think everyone's got a bit more experience under their belt now. And the third thing is I think there was a bit of lag. There were some software issues last time round, which contributed to issues.
Yeah. These things do happen. It's one of the only things that doesn't seem to happen in real life, isn't it? It's lag.
I've just seen my teammate spun off the track, which is always upsetting. Hopefully he hasn't had any damage. That was on the exit at 12.
Yeah. That's not good. Let's hope he's not got any damage. Speaking of teams, Rory Martin's running 7th in GT4 in the Mar Motorsport car. Well, some of you will be pleased to hear that, some of you won't be. If you're not, then why aren't you? Don't forget to tweet me at DanFrom007. Don't forget to hashtag BWEC or just hashtag anything. But the race still goes on, and I think TXL Racing haven't pitted yet, and they've just TXL Racing haven't pitted yet. SRBN GT4 haven't pitted yet, and neither is Scuderia GT Italia. The only cars that all say that, and TXL are in. So we've only got 2 cars.
I'm just noticing on the score sheet Jimmy Hughes from Mad Cape, who had to pit early after a little bit of damage to the front of his car. He's just now managed to pass the lead GT2 car, so he's only got GT1s ahead of him now, so that'll be a bit of a relief for him. It's always a bit frustrating to find yourself down there duking it out with the GT2s when you're meant to be racing GT1s, so he's back in the hunt.
Yeah. Of course, it's very confident. As long as you can stay ahead of the drivers in your class, and the TXL racing car has left the pit lane. And something's happened to Jan Winentig, because he's down 16th overall. Every car is ahead of him. Could the number 102 car have a problem?
Yeah,
he
I'll
doesn't
see
seem
what
to
I
be
can,
doing
see what I
anything.
can find out.
Still going on. There's 2 blue flags for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs cars and the Team R Motorsport cars. And as they all continue going round, we'll just check up on the
I'm trying to find car 102, Jan Win Ensing, who was very, very quick in qualifying and in the opening laps, but he seems to be sitting still at the minute. I'll try and find him.
yeah. Not good, and yes, so let's move on to something else, because we'll continue to cover the race live, but it's getting to the point where sometimes we're going to run out of things to say, so we might need something to keep us entertained. So David, can you think of a game we can play?
Well, I was going to just chat about some of the differences between the cars. Any of us racing addicts who've been watching the Nissan GT Academy would be interested to hear that the GT4 car in this simulation is actually based on the RJN built 370Z GT4 that features in the Nissan Academy. So that's a bit of fun to know. It's quite incredible how close the Corvette GT2s can run to the Nissan GT1s, because their power to weight ratio, they're 342 brake horsepower to the ton versus 441, so the Corvette's at a big brake horsepower disadvantage, but it actually has more torque, courtesy of that big 6-litre single overhead cam V8. It's a very torquey engine.
5.5.
No, it was 5.5 from 2010 onwards, but in this simulation we're running the 2009 spec.
Yes, of course. I know the GT2 version was a 6-litre, and the 5.5 is the maximum displacement you can have during current GTE rules. So, like, that's what they run currently, or what they run in that they used to run in the American Le Mans Series. They'll be running in the Shootout United Sports Car Championship next year, as well as the World Endurance Championship to little test, which is quite interesting because actually Viper have allowed like 8-litre engine. I think actually they've allowed a 6-litre engine because their normal block is 8-litre V10, so it upset the FIA. Let's put it that way.
We've got some great in-car action happening now with our leader in GT1, Miguel Burgess. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Miguel. But we've got some in-car footage showing exactly how the quickest guy on the track's getting the job done.
Yes, and that's a good point there, David. And also, let's thank very nice Ron Squire, who has returned.
Hello everyone, let's just get on with the race, shall we? Yeah, we got who we're viewing now at this moment in time.
On board with the 110 car.
Race leader Miguel.
Ah yes, 48 seconds in front of Rainer Hutt in the Rare Endurance team. My God, he's been on good form, hasn't he, Burgess?
Well, he's running fairly low fuel and a short stint. He pitted at lap 20, which was quite early, so it looks like he's planning on running pretty hard, consuming his tyres and pitting quite frequently, but it doesn't seem to be hurting him so far.
Okay, so let's have a look at the bottom of the overall field, and it seems to be a little bit mixed of GT1, GT2 and GT4. 20th place, as you see, the motorsports of Christian Michael, who's between 4th and 5th in the GT4, Bordeaux is currently 9th place in the GT2 category. Robin Toll in the Rare Endurance team, 10th place in class, 22nd overall, Bordeaux is between the road banners of Angelo Peter in the GT4 category, and in front of Yuri Geisen in the SRVN GT1. So basically, Yuri Geisen can pick up the pace from there if he wants to. But not at this moment in time because he's quite pitting at the moment. He's pitting.
And important that is too. And again, Xavier has told us when the team radio came through, he was saying that the rain was coming in this race, not in a specific amount of time. So thank you, Xavier.
Okay, so we may as well have a look for if there's any rain coming along. We just see the skies also. Yeah, we just have a look at the weather forecast here on one of the posts here this time, saying that the race will start in dry conditions, which is clear, yes. But yeah, it'll be go darker and it'll be around the halfway point. So just about 4 hours or so into this race, we'll expect to see some rain come here soon.
Yes, and I hope it comes later rather than sooner, to be honest, because it's a very good race. It is now. You know.
Well, the races do happen and much more excitingly in the rain as well.
Well, yes, I must admit that, but would be rather bizarre to watch a race in the desert being covered in water.
Yeah.
Yeah, could shake up the order a bit because we might find that certain drivers have got a bit of an edge in the wet. Just while we're looking at the cars going around, we're still with Miguel. I had a chance. I was invited by the organisers to take a run in the pace car and also take a run in the Corvette, and there's probably only 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds a lap difference in pace, but the Corvette and the GT1 drive very, very differently. The Corvette's got what I would call a really planted front end. It's lovely under brakes, it's lovely on turn entry, which you wouldn't really expect with steel brakes, but compared to the carbon brakes of the GT1, but very manageable on turn entry. But GT1 is the Nissan GT1 seems to be a bit stronger on turn exit.
Yeah, so let's have a look at some posts here on the race department, saying one from Justin Swan saying where they're turning. I did say it before and I'll say it again, it will be run a mid race. Okay, so yeah, the first hour has been completed, by the way. First hour has been completed. We only got about 7 hours or so left. And we're currently viewing Peter Varga, who's... Oh, and we got... and the car behind Peter Varga, who's maybe lapped or so, has been just gone off of the grass at the last corner. But that was on the replay, I just didn't see that. But though he's currently just coming out to the last corner of the national straight, not the normal pit straight. Ahead of, I believe that is a Tiger Racing of, who's in the Tiger Racing now?
Did you say Tiger Racing GT2? That's Timo Twicker.
Okay, thanks very much, David.
Believe it or not,
Okay,
there's six layouts to the Bahrain circuit, believe it or not.
Yeah, so that's the external layout, the internal one, and I don't know the rest.
Well,
Oh,
you've
wait,
got the endurance circuit, which was used by F1 in 2010, which is 6.3 kilometres. The Grand Prix circuit, which we're running on now. And for the trivia incline, there's an inner circuit, an outer circuit, an oval circuit, and a paddock circuit, just to finish it off.
Yeah, so basically loads of different things going on there that we do get confused by.
Yeah, the track hosts the FIA Formula One that we know about. They also run a round of the FIA World Endurance Championship, which is, of course, while we're here doing the virtual World Endurance Championship. There's an annual 24 Hours of Bahrain, and they actually run a round of the Australian V8 Supercar Championship Series, which seems incredible, because it's quite a distance from Australia to the Middle East. GP2 and GP2 Asia, as well as a few other sort of lower-end series.
25 minutes left, 25 seconds. Jimmy, you got a 20-second gap.
Okay, so that's another team radio from Mr. Xavier Carvalho to his team there. Thank you very much, Mr. Xavier. Okay, so
Yuri Geisen. It's a GT1, and it's just gone off. Careful when it re-enters.
okay, we just received confirmation from we just received word from Xavier Carvalho that that his guys which one was Xavier Carvalho in again? Yeah, Yuri Geisen still in 23rd place in overall. Where's the Mad Cape Racing of Mislav Davojevic is in 2nd place, and Jimmy Hughes in the other Mad Cap in Mad Cape in 7th place overall, 7th place in class in the GT1 category.
Yeah, Jimmy's running a good pace. He's running around about a 2-minute, high 2 minutes, and he's now managed to pull a 47-second gap over the lead GT2 car. So he's pulled his heels well away from the snapping jaws of the GT2 cars.
Okay, we're just currently viewing Davy Lorries, who is currently in the LSD racing car, who's trying to catch up to the Scuderia GT Italia car of Daniel Pizzo in 7th place in class, 14th place overall. So, and by the way, Davy Lorries is the man who came up with the Tracker Spotter guide. So thank you very much to LSD Racing and Davy Lorries again. We're now viewing if this succeeds, the rare endurance car in the GT1 category of Mr. Sabula. Mr. Sabula? Or is it Hut? Well, let me just check. It's Rainer Hut. We just have a look at Rainer Hut.
Yeah, the LSD guys have got a lovely philosophy to endurance racing. Their philosophy is that their biggest challenge is to see the checkered flag and everything else is gravy.
Yay. Right, so there's no new tweets at the moment. Remember, if you want to post a tweet on our private stream, remember it is hashtag VWEC only on Twitter from on the race department Twitter page. To tweet to Mr. Dan Mar, it is Danmar is at Danmar 007, and myself is at Ron Squire 95. I repeat, at Ron Squire 95.
Just noticing here that P2 to P6 in GT1 are covered by about 12 seconds.
Okay. Miguel Burgess is now 1 minute in front of Cibula. And that is outstanding. Yeah, outstanding.
Yes, it's almost 2 seconds a lap. About 1.7 seconds a lap if my mental arithmetic works.
And we got Danmar back in the room.
My dearest apologies, I did have a problem with my internet.
Understood.
So what's gone on in the moments that I've not been here?
Nothing much, to be honest. We just had a little bit of position swaps in the GT1 category. I don't know.
We're having I think we're having a pretty hard race up the front because you've got Miguel. He's just pulled a minute clear now. He's half a lap ahead. Based on that pace, we might be able to see him. We might see him a full lap ahead by the time we get to that 6 hours. And position 2 through to position 7 are covered by 15 seconds in GT1, which 37 laps in, that's pretty good racing. And the only guy who's out of that little bubble is Jimmy Hughes. He's a further 20 seconds back, but if you recall, Jimmy had an unscheduled pit stop requiring repairs in the early lap, so he's fought his way back. He's made a 53-second gap to the lead GT2 car. So we've had some pretty hard, close racing, and plenty more of it to come.
Yeah, I certainly hope we do get more of this exciting racing we're getting at the moment. Round 2 of the Race Department Virtual World Endurance Championship. 8 hours of Bahrain. We're about an hour and a half in, I would believe.
I'm seeing a host of blue flags coming up on the timing screen, and just so the viewers understand, it's not like the blue flag works in Formula One, for example. It doesn't mean you've got to slow or pull over. It's for information purposes only, and the attacking car is required to show a bit of patience and skill and find a good clean pass without relying on any help from the attackee, if I can use that term. So there's no license to pass just because you're a lap up. But it's wise if you're under attack by a faster car, it's only going to hurt you to fight them. So the best thing to do is just do a little lift on the exit of a corner and allow a nice clean pass. But the level of cooperation is entirely down to the car that's being passed, so it's not always simple.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay, so we're currently viewing Robin Toll at the moment in the Rare Endurance team car, just behind, is it the GT Italia? Is it? Hold on. Robin Toll behind the GT Italia of Mr.
Luca Bonatti.
Yeah, Luca Bonatti in 4th place in the GT4 category. Sorry about that. Okay, so the current, actually I can actually view the weather from here. I've just actually tweaked my VNC viewer for a sec, and I can see the conditions now. The track temperature and ambient temperature is both at 25 degrees Celsius, and the current conditions is sunny now. So that means should bring here later on. We'll find out from here.
Yeah, Robin Toll must have had some issues because he's basically 5 laps down, and he's on the same lap as the GT4 car that he's just managed to pass.
Yeah. All seems to be looking good at the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robin's team is 3 laps down.
Ah. Right, little update on the GT4 category, and Sergei Ruskosa is still leading for the Project Resistance Racing ahead of Frederick Schonstein in the TXL Racing. The RFN Motorsport of Adrian Jimenez is in 3rd, Tiger Racing's Tibu Toika is in 4th, ADR's Andy van der Velde is in 5th, ME Racing's Henrik Leek is in 6th, Scuderia GT Italia of Daniel Pizzio is in 7th, and the LSD Racing of Davy Loweries is in 8th. 9th place is Christian Michael for CDR Motorsports and Rare Endurance teams. Robin Toll is in 10th, but just moved down to 21st overall from 20th, thanks to Mr. Luca Bonatti in the GT Scuderia Italia in the GT4 category.
I'm sorry to butt in, but I'm just noticing Adrian Sabila in the Rare Endurance Team GT1, car 117, has just hit it.
Okay, so
he's the first GT1 to make the second pit stop. We're at lap 40, so it looks like they're definitely just running 20 laps in.
Okay, thank you very much.
I know we were speaking about, I know we were speaking the other day about the for future games, future sim racing games coming soon, and I'm looking forward to a game, DTM, the new DTM game that Sim are making.
The DTM experience.
Yes, that.
Yeah,
I'm-
it is good to be. Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
So guys,
is, and-
I'm going to butt in for a sec, guys, because we're currently got our camera on the P3 car at the moment with my teammate David Gronvals doing a sterling job. He's now running in P3, and shortly I'll need to leave the commentary booth to go and get ready to get into the car. But a bit nerve-wracking being handed the car in a podium slot. It can only go one way from here.
Yeah, you can only go
Understood.
forwards. We wish you the best of luck.
Good luck, Dave.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'll try to fly the flag. He's got a gap of 13 seconds to P4, so he's done a sterling job. So I'll excuse myself now. Thank you very much, and go and head down to the pits and get ready to get into the car. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much to listening to Mr. David O'Reilly. Now, let's just have a look at some messages here on the race department board. Justin Swan says that Frederick is now going to do a double stint. Now, is that supposed to be good or bad for Frederick?
I suppose you could play either way. It depends. Has he been up since 4 o'clock this morning?
Well, I don't know.
Well, if he has, then he's in trouble.
Yep. So
Be-
anyway, if anybody has got nothing else to do at this moment in time and like to have a chat with us, then now anytime may be possible. If you want to come down to our commentary booth and have a chat with us, how your race is going on, you can do it anytime. There's no pressure, no hesitation, no forcement. That is all. Forcement. Did I make that word up or something?
Yes, you did.
Brilliant. I'm so epic. Let's right, let's just move on. We got another tweet from Team Xbox League. Mark Greenall unfortunately is unavailable to race. So that might be the reason why Frederick is doing the double stint, because Mark Greenall is unable to race.
Ah, that's not good.
Yep. So if Frederick is doing a double stint, make sure to fill in for Mark Greenall. Plus, if he has been at the since 4 o'clock this morning, then the management team at the TXL Racing users are in trouble.
And
Okay.
speaking to people who've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, I have as well.
Oh dear. I hope you had plenty of coffee. Don't worry, Bram will give
Nope.
you some now. Don't worry, Bram will give you some.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. We're currently looking at Yuri Geisen. We're on board with him at the moment. And how many minutes are we now into the race? We're just only nearly 1.5 hours, I believe.
Yeah, and actually, we've been going about 1 hour, 1.5 hours now, and but that means we've only got 6.5 to go.
Okay. Speaking of coffee, I might as well go and have myself one now.
Yeah, so you're abandoning me, are you?
Only for a sec.
Oh dear. Well, as he goes to get a drink, you better make me one. As he goes and makes me a coffee.
I hope so.
Yes. He makes himself a coffee. I am going to quickly go over the racing order then. The Project Resistance racing car, move up. Burguez is in first. Second is the Rare Endurance team with Rainer Hutt in that car. David Gromval's in the Fidjam Racing car, soon to be taken over by our good friend David O'Reilly. Fourth is Speed and Spielt, Kiva and Rainer Hutt. Either one of them inside the car. OXXO Racing is Peter Varga. Mad Cape Racing is in sixth with Jimmy Hughes. Seventh is Rare Endurance team Carlos Souza. First in GT2 is 9th overall with third guy Estefano in first. Second is the TXL racing car of Frederick Schornstein. Third is RFN Motorsport Adrian Jimenez. In Tiger Racing, which is fourth in GT2, is Team Altoica, and Andy Vanderville is ADR's racing driver in 5th, 6th Emmy Racing and Henry League, 7th Scuderia GT Italia is Daniele Pizzo, and 8th is ISD Racing Davy Lawrence. In first in GT4 is PR Team.es Vincent Fernandez. Second is Madcat GT4 Miroslav Davidovich. 9th is the third place SRVN Fielder Hahn. 4th is Scuderia GT Italia Luca Bonatti. 5th is Road Bandit. 6th is RFN. 7th is Team Mar Motorsport, and Roaring Price Maniacs is Yavi Vinari is in 8th and last overall, down by about 8 laps or so. He's in the garage. So then, carrying on. The race still continues on board with 102. And as we continue to watch the race, we're on board with your vision. Bring down the pit straight. Up to the braking zone for turn 1. Here you go, braking into the next braking zone. We've got car number, actually can't see who that is at the moment. I'm just accelerating out, still on board with Yori. He goes down the inside of the number 113 car, the OXXO Racing vehicle, and now he's behind him once again. And through he goes. And don't forget, you can join in the conversation on Race Department or on Twitter at DanFilm007 is my Twitter, and I'll quickly look at the comments you've been putting on. And yes, Kevin, we do believe rain is looming, but we do not know exactly when the rain will be coming. Cars still going round. Yuri Yushin in the number 102 car. Now we look at the number 208 car. Now to the 306 car, Scuderia GT Italia. Behind them there is the... Actually, I can't see who that is. He's a bit too far behind at the moment, but we can't see behind him. And as they accelerate out of onto the back straight, there seems to be the other Scuderia GT Italia car catching up. Oh, that's the number 309 car that is near the 302. The Scuderia GT Italia cars are catching up with each other and lining him up to lap him. Going into turn 1. Into turn 4. Now we come braking in very nicely, doesn't seem to lock up, turns in very nicely, very sharply, that's out, and continuing on his day. A bit of a lock up there though. Into turn 8. And as they're coming round into turns 9 and 10, accelerating out of 10 now onto the back pit straight just before turn 11. Still looking at car 306. And that looks to be one of the GT1 cars just about to lap him. Down the pit straight once again. We currently have only one car in the pit lane, the IST racing car of David Lawrence's. And now the Ron Pikes Maniac car's gone 10 laps down from the last GT4 car. Or last running GT4 car. And got a couple of GT2 cars now. Looking at car 205 and 215. 215 just ahead of us. They accelerate out of the final corner. We now watching the two GT2 teams go side by side into turn 1. Little bit of a lock up there from 205. 215 still ahead of us. Round turn 2 and turn 3. GT1 car just ahead of us. Hopefully he can get a bit ahead, a bit further ahead on the straight, but he doesn't seem to at the moment. So he'll lose a bit of time. But as they continue to go down. And still coming round turns 9 and 10. Turning into 10 now. A bit of traffic ahead of them. Shouldn't affect them too much, but not much of a problem. Accelerating out now, a couple more of the GT2 cars ahead of us. Big lockups there. That's also 214 ahead of us. He's got past and made a small mistake. Did the number 204 car of IRC Racing out of the pit lane. Still looking at the Tiger Racing machine. Ahead of him is the RFN car. Although he seems to have jumped off to a little bit of a bigger gap. And in the background, 204 is yes, 204 still going very wide, but still accelerating out like normal. And someone's done something on the pit straight because they're weaving a side by side, go to 204 and 215. Side by side up to the first corner, and I think the Tiger Race machine is just ahead of the RFN car. Turning into turn 1 now, and the 205 is ahead. Runs a little bit wide but keeps it in. Hits the apex again, and now is ahead of the 215 machine. Up to the braking zone then, into turn 4. Up to the braking zone. Into turn number... Oh, and that's the 215 car going wide there at between turns 9 and 10. Accelerating still, right, going round the next set sort of turns. And there's a GT4 car that he's going to be lapping in just a minute now, so just watching what we're normally doing. And we're still coming round. Little bit of dust kicked up there by the 215 machine. No, 205, my apologies. And, accelerating out now. Accelerating out of the 11 and 12, now through 13 up to 14. Through the final turn. And into the pit lane he comes now then. So now looking at 209. Accelerating out, and don't forget you can try and join in the conversations, of course, Twitterverse and all that. Doing 9 car just coming round still. Of course, still got a long way to go yet in this race. Just under 2 hours done. An hour and 45 minutes, but still coming around then, number 3 to around the TXL racing machine. Frederick Schornstein in that car. Bit of lock up there. Still coming around then, that's a GT1 car, that is Miguel Burgess, or Burguez. Sorry, I'm not good with names, as many of you may or may not have encountered during my time. So, accelerating out, still watching him down to the final corner. GT2 car just up, just ahead of him. Not long to go, well, not that far in still, and if anybody wants to come and join me in the commentary box as well, I'm more than more than allowed to. Of course, it's just me in here at the moment, because Ron's gone and made me making me a coffee. He's not really, but I like to wish. And IST Racing, we're still thanking you for the spotter's guide you've given us. Very, very useful indeed. Now looking at the 302 car, 101 car even. Minor Hut. Somebody driving that's the Bahrain Endurance Team machine. Coming down into the turns 9 and 10, just out of turn 10. Accelerating out of 11. And still coming round then. And into the pit lane he comes then. So Miguel Burgess we're looking at again. Still up to turn 9 and 10. Accelerating out of 11. And the GT2 car right behind him, number 302. That's Sphere 2 we're looking at the moment, so that is Vincente Fernandez. Over the pit straight then. Up to turn 8. Round he goes now. Telemeeting out now. Up to turns 11 and 12 and 13. Into turn 11 now. Still looking at the same car we were a minute ago. And my motorsport car, unfortunately we're going a wee bit wide. Looking at the Salvo Sardina. At the moment it's going through turn 4. Down into the straight. Accelerating out of that now. Up to turns 11 for the next time. Still now accelerating up the turn again. Up to the final turn then, and 202 car is right ahead of 208. This is going to be a GT Italia car behind. Accelerating out once again. Accelerating out once again, up to turns 5, 5 and 6 and 7. And trying to contact me. Anyway, regardless, still going around 9 and 10. 202 car still going around. It's going to be a GT Italia. Let's go with the top 3 position cars for the time being. In the lead is the Project Resistant racing car of Miguel Bergres, ahead of Big Jams Racing's David Grunwald and Minor Hutt in the Rangers team car. In GT2 it's TXL Racing, Frederick Schornstein in the lead from Project Resistant Racing's Ruben Suarez and literally just changed the RFA Motorsport car of Mubaldo. In the GT4 it is PR Team.es with Vincent Fernandez in the lead in that class, ahead of Simpson RVN's Gilles Dehaan and Cape GT4 with Simon Hill in that car. So everyone's still just carrying on. We have 2 hours just gone, or near enough gone. Two of the cars just going up for the time being. Fortunately, taking a lot longer than I expected to, and there's a whole gaggle of cars right up ahead of the rear GT Italia vehicle. And so they all just come out at the moment. Still looking at the Scuderia GT Italia car. Going into back, but the track elevating to the penultimate straight. And at the moment still cars just trundling round. Of course you can get involved on Twitter at danfilm007, hashtag hashtag RD and tell us what you want me to say, and well, should be back soon. Back straight once again. We've got, I can't see who that is in the moment, it's right ahead. That looks to be the number 202 car. And it's number 202. big, or I've got someone ahead. Still, cars to go round. 9 and 10. Accelerating out. Up to turns, I think this is 14. Accelerating down once again, down the pit straight, very nice. On the 208. Of course, if you can come and join the Right, once again, coming round, very nice indeed. GT1 car ahead of him. Could he get past the GT1 car, or is he going to have to stay behind for the time being? Lock up there from somebody. Now coming through. Still looking at 208. It's going to be a GT Italia team going around the outside. No, he doesn't, in fact. Tries to go around the outside and doesn't. GT1 car just outdrive him. But, of course, running out of things to say that are at least somewhat intelligent. Accelerating all the way out. Going a bit wide, there he goes. Braking into the braking zone then. And accelerating out again. Accelerating out again. up to the braking zone. And still coming round, we're looking at buying a hut now in the 101 car. Up to the braking zone then for the final corner. Still coming around. Up to turn 4 now. Yeah, so coming round turn 9 then and turn 10. Of course, don't forget you can join us in at any time. So you'll just go around then. Let's do a quick check up on the pit lane. Nobody in pit lane apart from my maniacs, which I'm growing suspicious ever more of the fact that I feel they've retired. Ran the back straight then, oh, ran the home straight then. Start another lap. round they come once again, and they all still come round. And they come once again. Car 101. That's still the, I believe, the RGN. Their endurance team car. My apologies. That's coming very, very close there to the car in front. And he moves up again on the 116 car. Let's just check the comments on race department once again. And Miroslav Davidovich says, so far it's been an awesome race, no lag, very clean driving, awesome job RDNO. Yes, it has been, very clean indeed, as car 101 just goes very wide. And just checking the comments. For the time being, doesn't seem to be any, but doesn't seem to be. And in better news, Ron Squire has returned. Thank the Lord.
Hello, hello, hello. After a really long coffee, I have to say. Right then,
Where's mine?
Bram, can you give him a coffee, please?
Oh dear.
Yeah. Right then, let's just have a look at the standings. You are viewing the 8 hours here of Bahrain. And looking at the weather, I don't think it's actually going to rain. Okay, so let's just have a look at the live scoring. Miguel is leading for Project Resistance Racing, who is 1 minute and 37.6 seconds in front of the second place man in the rare endurance team of Raider Hut. Then we've got David Gronvals in the Fitjam Racing in third. OXXO Racing Peter Varga is in fourth. Fifth place is Brandon Spitz is in fifth. Rare endurance teams Carlos Souza is in sixth. Seventh is the Mad Cape Racing of Xavier de Carvalho, and I'm just looking here. We just received word from Dan Marr that he has to go for a sec. Got a little bit of internal problems, different internal problems. I won't go into details. But though, let's just have a look at the GT2 category. Ruben Suarez is in first place in category. Then we've got the TXL list of Matt Horst. Then we got we got Miguel Belado in the RFN Motorsports in third. Fourth place is Stefan Woudenberg. Then we've got Eddie Holgren in the ME Racing. Davey Van der Ven in the ADR, sixth place. LSD Racing's Nicky DeVries is in seventh. Eighth place is Salvador Sardinia in eighth. Ninth place is Simon Chrisman in ninth. In 10th place is Dennis Duna. In the we forgot about the last place man in the GT1 category, which is Mr. Yuri Geisen for SRVN. In the GT4 category, we've got Vincent Fernandez in first place for PR Team España. Then we've got the Mad Cape GT4 of Simon Hill, second place. Third place is Jos van der Steren in the SRVN GT4. Scuderia GT Italia of Rodrigo Stiol is in fourth place in class. Then we've got Christian Henge for Road Bandits in 5th place. Antonio Asdilos is in FRN Motorsport. Then we got Rui Martins in the Team R Motorsports. Go on, lads. In 7th, and finally we got to Yari Veneri, who's last in class. But he hasn't. But I don't know if he's continued on since. So I think he might have retired. Let's just have a look at the any messages on the board. Nothing going on at the moment. The latest tweet we have at the moment is from Team Xbox League, which says Matt Horst is out of the car and out of the bed and into the car. Good luck to Matt. Yes, good luck, Matt. And that is it so far. Look, if you are a team owner who hasn't got anything else to do at the moment, you'd like to have a chat, now is the time to do so. I'm willing to ask you any questions that you might sorry, ask you any questions I have, or something else. I don't know. I'm good over the top here. Remember, you can always get your free coffee courtesy of Mr. Bram Hengeveld. Hope he's doing the cafe all right. And weather. Let's have a look at the weather. Temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, both ambient and on track. Sunny conditions at the moment. No sign of rain whatsoever. We only got about 7, and looking at the times, hold on. Looking at the times, we only just got under 6 hours to go. 6 whole hours. My God have mercy. That is all so far from me. We'll just have to wait for more action to come along. But hold on, wait a minute. I just saw on the broadcast that hold on, let me just have a look at the that the Fidjam racing car of who's at the wheel? The Fidjam racing car of David Gromval's just gone off the track, and I think he surrendered a position to Peter Varga, I believe. Did he? I don't think so. Let's have a look. Yeah, Peter Varga. I think Peter Varga might have got in front of him. No, he hasn't. But he's got the Madcap racing car of I don't know who it is. The Madcap racing of Xavier de Carvalho just behind him. So maybe a little bit of the swapping around here or something. I don't know. We'll get back to you if I have any more news for you.
Well, welcome back then. Sorry about that. I've been busy not being ill. And anyway, let's continue. As we are you there, Xavier?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. So, what's gone on in the time that I have not been here?
I've just finished my stint in the GT1, and Colin Melinda has just finished his in the GT4. Unfortunately, as we handed the cars over, there was a little bit of trouble. Calvin van der Linde had a bit of an incident with one of the cars who were a little bit overeager and over anxious to overtake him and pinned him. So we had a frantic moment, where we had to try and get Kevin McDonald into the server so we could, of course, do a driver swap and get Kevin McDonald into the car. And we weren't getting any replies from Kevin since his microphone wasn't working. Then we realized we had a lot of damage, and it was going to be about 10 minutes to fix the GT4 car. So I had given the instruction for Kelvin to press escape and wait for the penalty and then rejoin. However, Tamaj thought that the message was in fact for him. So we had a situation where both cars had decided to go into the pit by pressing escape. So we had both cars in the pits serving their penalty and losing valuable time. I mean, we were on the same lap as the second place guy in GT1, and we were making up positions really nicely. I didn't have a particularly good stint, very, very slow in the car, wasn't doing great times. Kelvin had a blistering stint, made up a lot of positions, got the car back up into second in GT4, and was there for quite a while, catching the first place guy. But if it wasn't for this trouble, we'd probably still be up in second and maybe fifth or fourth in GT1. Of course, we started in fourth in GT1 and ended up going into second for a while in the race. And again, just had a little bit of trouble with some of the cars on circuit, and a little bit of over-eagerness and over-anxious drivers, not being patient enough, and a couple of incidents. But it's quite an experience, and it's been a relatively good event, and it's been pretty fun so far. A lot more happening, of course, this time out than in Malaysia, and just something to add is that the tyres are now lasting a lot more than what they were in Malaysia. So it's all about strategy. It's more about strategy this round than it was in Malaysia, where it was more about how fast can you go, and you had the leeway to make as many pit stops as you wanted. Whereas in this round, you need to make the car last as long as possible whilst being as fast as possible.
Yeah. So that was a basic run-up of his stint, and points getting really quite bad. But hopefully the race will go better for you. So what do you predict?
Yeah, we're hoping for our second stints to go a little bit better. I mean, we've got really brilliant drivers. They've shown some tremendous pace, and they're very consistent and pretty experienced in other walks of sim racing. So I mean, we've got the experience, we've got the pace. Now we just need to bring the two together and pull in some of the results. It was just unfortunate with some of the problems we had, and one can only wonder what would have been if they hadn't happened.
Yeah, they're very lucky that we've got so long left in the race. The race itself, that you can try and continue on and challenge for the podium.
I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, it's an 8-hour event, and we're lucky that the stuff happened to us now earlier on, rather than having it happen at last minute right at the end of the race, where we would have had a lot more work put into our stints and put into the positions we were in. I think it would have been a lot more frustrating had it happened later on.
Yeah, but once again, proof that everything usually does happen in endurance racing, and even then, it's not as restrictive as
Yeah, anything
Cool.
that can happen often does.
Yeah. So what do you predict the car? So what do you predict to go on later in the race?
In terms of what?
Just in terms of the result, what do you think will happen later
Well, I mean,
on?
we've got Project Resistance, PRR Racing, and Rare Endurance and OXXO, who have shown some pretty good pace and consistency throughout this event so far. Big Jam with Dave O'Reilly, of course, the resident commentator for this round. Um, he's, they have a very good lineup as well. So, they could probably take up from Speed and Spillet. They could probably take that position and possibly heading for a top 3 if OXXO or Rare Endurance runs into some trouble. But I don't think anyone's really going to catch Project Resistance. I mean, they're a lap ahead of the second place guy, and they're setting blistering lap times almost every lap. It's difficult to keep up with them, and even our drivers are getting frustrated because they just can't catch them. I think their qualification time was 2 seconds faster than anybody else. I think in GT2, TXL, of course, have shown blistering pace, and Tiger Racing's also been alright. They've also had a couple of offs, if I'm not mistaken, but they can come back. TXL, I think, for the win. Tiger Racing for second. ME Racing should stay where they are. They've got a very good driver lineup as well, very consistent drivers. I'm surprised to see ADR a little bit lower down. I mean, David and Andy are very, very good drivers, very experienced within sim racing. In the GT4, nobody's really going to catch PR Team .es. We were trying so hard when we were in second, but we just couldn't match their times over the long distances. I think Mad Cape will stay about a lap behind the guys who they are behind right now. SRVN have been doing really, really well throughout this race. Again, being very consistent, and they're almost a lap ahead of Scuderia Giotalia. And Team R Motorsports has actually not been too badly this time around. They've kept the car on circuit and been consistent and relatively quick in some sectors and some parts of the race. So I think the way you see the lineup right now, I think that's how it's going to stay for the duration of the race now.
Alrighty then. So, do you know whether the Roaring Pirates Maniacs car has retired yet, or?
With Yari Benari, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they have. They've only done 27 laps, whereas the leader has done 83, and the leader in their class has done 76. So I think it's safe to say that they've called it quits for today.
Yeah, it's a great shame, but sometimes this is how it goes.
Of course. Another aspect to bring in quickly in terms of the standings is when the rain actually does eventually come, it's going to be extremely difficult to judge now, of course, with the drive times. It's going to be extremely difficult for the drivers to adapt, since they've had about 4 hours so far, or they will have had 4 hours after the next end, of essentially a dry track. And when the wet weather sort of comes into play, it's going to be very difficult for the drivers to adapt to it. And I think we're going to start seeing some cars, like we did in Malaysia during practice sessions and whatnot, we're going to start seeing the true sort of pace coming through in the wet, where we can see drivers who have better car control, with better speed, in terms of, the better speed in the wet. Because being in the wet, you've got to be so gentle, and there's a lot of guys who try and race in the wet as though it's dry, and end up spinning off or having issues. So I mean, that's another part that can come into play for us, where we, with the wet weather, I think it'll be fun in a way for us as drivers. It adds an extra element and some more excitement for us to deal with. But yeah, the wet weather is definitely going to have play an integral part or integral role in the race today. Like I said, just depending on who can cope and who can't cope with the wet weather.
Yeah, and it's going to be this wet weather that comes along. It is going to be very important because I think it would determine the outcome of the race more than anything. Because whoever's on the right tyres at the right time will undoubtedly figure out. Also, I think What the track conditions actually like? What's the circuit like to be driving at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's difficult for me to say because we changed our setup this morning, and unfortunately, I am one of the only ones in the team who hasn't gelled with it. So my lap times were really, really slow, and I was struggling a lot with understeer and the front end of the car.
Yeah.
Because we had lowered the front wing and the rear wing a lot more than what we had, just to try and make up some time on the straights. Yeah, I mean, the track conditions, there's a lot of rubber down, but in some sectors, like I said, especially in some of the off-camber corners, there's really little grip when you're trying to go as fast as you can through them. On one of the fast uphill left-handers, on one of the back straights, it's, you know, for me, with our setup, it became extremely slippery. And even with all the rubber down, you couldn't. I sometimes had to shift down into second or third just to get turned into the corner, whereas you normally go in at fourth or third, and you roll in and roll up and shift up to fourth, and then take the right hander really, really fast, almost flat out. But in some cases, I had to shift down to third and just roll it up. So for us, we were struggling with front end grip. Track conditions in most of the places on the circuit are pretty grippy. They're all right, but like I said, I think it's just our setup that tainted us a little bit.
Yeah, and
I mean, I've seen a lot of guys going through some of the corners extremely fast, and pulling away from us and catching up to us in some sectors, and then in other sectors we're just destroying them, where we drive away from them really, really quickly and put that gap back. So I think it depends on what sort of a setup you're running. I mean, if you're running high wing setup, you're definitely going to be faster through the corners. And I think at this circuit, that's actually where it's going to count, especially during the raining segments of the race when you need that grip. And if you're running a low wing in rainy conditions, you're definitely going to be on for a slidey car, or you're definitely going to be battling for grip.
yeah. It's very true that, my friend. Very true. And finally, so how were you driving off? So the offline, I believe, the offline would be very difficult to go on at the best of times, but especially in the wet conditions. I mean, if you go offline only for a second or so, you're going to be really, really stuck in terms of grip and actually being able to drive out the corner as well.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're offline, you're not really. It's difficult to emulate what's happening on the actual server. Even with driver feedback, you can't set it up exactly the same as what it is on the server, with the ambient temperatures, with the all the weather aspects that actually play a part in the driving.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for that insight there, Xavier, and I'm sure we hope to hear from you later on during the race. We've got the Project Resistant racing car number 110 in the lead, ahead of the OXXO racing car and the Rare Endurance team car. And if anyone has any questions for my friend Xavier, then please do not hesitate to ask them.
Yeah, I'm always open to some questions.
And also, if you're a team boss or anyone else who just wants to come in and have a chat with us, feel free to join in, because we're more than happy to have a conversation. Or at least I am anyway, so... Yep, so continuing on with the race then, we have had about 3 hours gone and we've got 5 hours left. So And yeah, so continuing on, I believe Xavier has something to tell us, or a message that he wants me to pass on. Don't forget, soon, I don't remember the calendar, the virtual World Series by Renault will be restarting, the World Series by Renault Theo Cup. It starts next Friday, so I know what I'm doing next Friday.
Yeah, and I mean we've got a pretty exciting calendar lined up, based on the content limitations that we've had with R Factor 2 so far, since there's not a lot of content released yet. Basically, we've got Euro Ring, we've got Moors, we've got oh, okay, we've got someone in here. We've got Euro Ring, we've got Moors, we've got Mid Ohio, Sears Point, and Croft, running just the normal Clios. We've got bunch of the guys coming back from last season. Jimmy Hughes, of course, Miroslav Davidovich, first and third last season. We've got new guys, Luke Herring coming in. Of course, Mar Motorsports will be in there. TXL Racing is going to be in there with Andrew Ford and his team. Emmy Racing are taking part, and Roaring Price Maniacs as well. So I mean, it's going to be a really good series, a really good championship, and one for the books. One to definitely, if you're really interested in sim racing and interested to get to know more, or interested in seeing how the racing really should be done, that's going to be a series that you should really follow.
It should, and just having to stop you there for a minute, the number 510 has just done a 360-degree spin. So he comes back out to live another day, but he spins, and yeah, also going on the point of the World Series by Renault, I shall be driving in there as well, so if you want to watch anything really, really funny, come watch me race.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more going on at the race department though. Some championships in the pipeline, some very hush-hush championships that we're not allowed to mention. We have the race department stock car championship coming back for, I think it's its second or third season, and we've got a brilliant broadcast lined up for that. Should be some brilliant racing. I think over 30 to 35 sign-ups already. There's already a reserves list on there, and it should be a really decent championship as well. And those stock cars are brilliant to drive, and always produce close racing. It's really nice to see those V8s pounding around the track as close as they can be.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the V8 supercars. It is very, very very interesting to watch, and very interesting to sort of race, and that is very difficult to drive. So anyway, we should continue on with the broadcast.
I'm going to head down into my own team channel. It's been good. I'll probably pop up again later. And
alright then, we will say
just give some
goodbye to
feedback.
Xavier then, everybody.
See ya.
See ya. And with that, you're stuck with me now. Yes, so as the cars come round, then we are watching the 107 Speed and Spielt car. Let's go round. Accelerating down towards turn 11. into the braking zone. Nearest sort of area. R107. So just normal pit straight, so continuing on. And he goes around the second turn now. And through to the third corner. And now just coming through turn 8 now again, and up to 9 and 10 for the next time. We have just over, not even, just under 5 hours to go. And as they come around again, of course you can join in the commentary if you want. If you're team boss and not got nothing to do, just come along and join us. We can have a nice conversation. And the final turn though goes the 107 car. Let's check what you all saying on the race comment forum. Simon Roberts says, seriously can't wait to do this stuff in AC. You know, I like Tesla Corsa does look very nice, I will admit. However, I do believe that the R-Factor 2 does have a bit more promise. I might get slaughtered for that, but that's my opinion and I'm entitled to it. Coming out of the corner again. So let's go over the race order. In the lead is Project Resistant Racing, number 110, SD Raider, ahead of Norbert Leitner and Dennis Vishner in third. Fourth is Kia Vatrianio and fifth is David Riley. Thomas Foth is sixth in the Madcap car. First in GT2 and 7th overall TXL Racing Andrew Ford, then Stefan Lundberg, Suarez, Van Halgren, Lawrence's, Duana Kreisman, Baldo and Jan Renensig in a GT1 car, and GT2 is Scuderia GT Italia, Salvo Sardina. In the lead of GT4 is PR Team, not ES's, David Soler, then the Rare Insurance Team car of David Chavez in the GT1 class. In GT2 is actually to say that they've gone placement, so it's now David Son in 19th overall, and in the lead of GT4 ahead of Josh van der Stern, Frederick Sarv, Christian Heng, Kevin McDonald, Antonio Estudios and Damon Patel in the Mar Motorsport car. That's the running order of the race so far, and we have less than 5 hours to go. And as we're just watching the final corner, or the entry to the final corner anyway, and now back to the 107. Accelerating out to the final corner, they come once again. And round they come once again. Still coming into the braking zone once again. We're looking at the 110 car, the current race leader, lapping very consistently, very quickly. Accelerating out of the first two corners then. I've been messaged. Still coming round then, and there's someone there with damage. That's the Mad Cape GT4 car. That is not good for 302 car. Very, very shame indeed. He'll be making his detour into the pit lane any second now. Going round. Accelerating rounds, once again out of turn 4, we're still looking at the race leader. And coming into turns 8 and 9. Up to turns 11 now, turning in. Down the pit straight then, up to the first turn. He's going to lap the race leader and lap the GT2 car, the Xbox GT2 car just ahead of him. Into the first corner then, through he goes, still in race lead. Accelerating out and continues on. Anyway, so you go round. Accelerating round up to the top of the circuit, just the back straight to go, and then the And now coming up to turn 4 then. Very nicely done there. All seems to be very calm at the moment. Now through turn 8 up to turn 9 for the next time. And now we are on board with the car 209 TXL racing car. Very nice shot indeed. We're looking at the driver's point of view. And clipping the apex then, accelerating out of the final turn. And down the pit straight. Up to turn 4 then. Braking very nicely indeed. Just clipping the apex properly, running all the way out wide, but not onto the dirt. Then onto the through turns 9 and 10 then, accelerating out to 10. And right round to the pit lane, not to the pits, but to the past the pit lane now, on to starting another lap. Up to turn 4 once again. Again, don't remember, if you're a team boss or a driver and you've got nothing better to do, then why don't you come over and randomly talk or a conversation with me. And there's a car up ahead of us. It's a GT4 car, big and yellow. Up to the back of the circuit. Down to the first corner then, once again, turning in very nicely. up towards turn 4. Once again. So continuing on with the anyway, continuing on down to the first corner once again, and still coming round. So up towards turn 11 then once again. Still coming round, not long until the they's finished another lap, turn 8. Braking into the braking zone. And round to the final corner then. Accelerating out of the final corner and accelerating round once again. As the cars come round then. Oh, there seems to be some form of problem there. Car number 312 going wide and then half spinning. That is not good at all. And as they continue to come round, let's have a quick look at race order then. We have 4.5 hours to go, so almost half distance. The Project Resistance racing car is in the lead ahead of Speed and Spielt and OXO Racing. Fourth is Rail Endurance Team. First in GT2 is TXL Racing with Andrew Ford. And Tiger Racing is in second with Stefan Lundberg. Third is ADR, Andy van Velde. And fourth is ME Racing. First in GT4 is PR Team.es. Ahead is SRVN, Scuderia GT Italia and Macap GT4. We currently have no one in the pit lane, i.e. all cars are out on track circulating rounds. And as the cars come round still, of course, if you're a Team Arsenal driver and don't have anything better to be doing, why don't you come into the broadcast and we can have a conversation. Meanwhile, in here it's just me, bored, absolutely witless, and with absolutely nothing to talk about. But anyway, continuing round. Somebody's gone. So then we're now looking at the 102 car, the SRVN car in GT1 currently. Going round currently, there's a GT2 car behind. Going around turn 4 now. The 102 still coming round. Just leaving turn 10 now. Coming into the braking zone for turn 1 then, the 102 car still turning in. Let's check the turn in, let's check the race department. Check what the guys have to say on here. Still everyone coming round, of course you can get involved at Twitter at Stanfilm007 #RD, and I will be trying reply or will respond in the talk. Still coming round then. And right, the car's still coming around there. 2 GT1 cars. Where the cars come round again, turn 4 once again. Still looking at the GT1 car, the 113 OXXO racing car. Up to turn 4 once again. And just accelerating out of the corner. I'm on video racing. Turning into turns 9 and 10 now, out of 10. Now if we turn 11. Up to the braking zone then. Over the line he comes now. Still accelerating out of the corner. Now we're looking at the 204 car. The 204 is the Low Speed Demons Racing, or ISD Racing. Accelerating the turns 9 and 10. Up to turn 11. Accelerating round. Up to turn 1 then, and down he goes. Let's quickly check on the race order. Project Resistance Racing is still in the lead ahead of OX Echo Racing and Rail Endurance Team. Oh no, as I say that, Friedenspielt are in third, but Rail Endurance are in the pit. In GT2 it's TXL Racing ahead of Tiger Racing and ME Racing. In GT4 it is PRT.ES ahead of SRVN and Scuderia GT Italia. So briefly working through that. Up to turn 8. Up to turn 11 now. Going down to the braking zone. And there's a whole gaggle of people there getting quite wide and into the gravel outside. The Mar Motorsport car was one of them. And going through all this carnage is the 204 car going down the inside of number 202. Coming up to the final corner then is the 204 car, the SV, or Scuderia GT Italia car is behind him as well. Round turn 4, up, no, round turn 3, my apologies. Up to the accelerating out of turn 8 up to turn 9 and then turn 10. Accelerating out of turn 11 then. Don't forget you can come in and join me if you have very little else to do. Over the start finish line then once again. The race almost, we're 10 minutes shy of half distance at the moment. I shall very quickly check on race department what you are all saying. Don't forget, yes, obviously you can come in and join us if you're a driver or a team boss and you've got nothing else to be doing, and not got that long to go before the half distance bell rings. Don't forget you can come and join in with us at any time. Accelerating out. Turning into the second and third corners. Fourth corner now, we are looking at the 210 car of ADR. Up towards turn 8. Accelerating round. Out of turn 10 then up to turn 11 then. And the people on race 1